We're here today to talk about one of the most effective ways to protect your stored grain using Envu's leading grain protectant, K-Obiol EC Combi. My name's Ed Bracey and I'm the Rural Business Specialist with Envu. K-Obiol provides protection against stored grain insects for your on-farm requirements and provides protection for grain in bulk storage facilities. This video is designed for farmers and agronomists to keep you up to speed on the correct usage and application of K-Obiol. We will show you how to correctly apply K-Obiol grain protectant in combination with the registered organophosphate for your state. For all states except Western Australia, this is phenyltrethione or chlorpyrifos methyl. These combinations help protect against insecticide resistance and ensure the entire spectrum of stored grain pests are controlled. K-Obiol is a widely used grain protectant that has been used by bulk grain handlers for over 20 years. Its active ingredient is deltamethrin, which is a synthetic pyrethroid. Phenyltrethione and chlorpyrifos methyl are both organophosphate insecticides, sold under various brand names in the Australian market. There are two ways to protect your grain from insect infestation, with a protectant or with a fumigant. Because a fumigant is a gas, it can only be used in a gas-tight sealed storage, and it becomes ineffective once that storage has been opened. K-Obiol, on the other hand, is a protectant. This means it can be used in unsealed storage, and it will protect your grain for up to 9 months in optimal conditions. When K-Obiol is mixed with an approved OP, it will give you reliable long-term protection and assist with resistance management. Prevention is always better than a cure, and we all know once you have an infestation, it can be really tough to treat, so working with preventative measures is something I always strongly recommend. There are maximum residue levels, or MRLs, for these actives in Australian and overseas markets, as well as some withholding periods that may apply. This is why it is essential that you follow the directions on the product label and in this video. In Australia, we have an industry recommended outturn limit of 1 part per million deltamethrin remaining on products that enter the food chain. And many of the countries we export to have similar standards. The good news is, if you treat your grain properly, the deltamethrin MRL won't be exceeded and is suitable for all domestic markets except for pesticide residue-free markets or PRF, and where food is certified organic. There is more information on this on the Australian Pesticides and Veterinary Medicines Authority website. The key to protecting your income is to make sure you use K-Obiol properly. So what grains can we and can't we protect with K-Obiol? K-Obiol can be used to treat malt barley, wheat, oats, sorghum, rice, maize and other cereal grains, but must not be used on oilseeds or pulses. While K-Obiol will give your grain long-term protection from insect infestations, it is not registered to control live insects, so it's important that your grain is not infested before treatment. There are 4 simple steps to applying K-Obiol and your choice of OP. Now remember, the mixing partner you choose must be registered for use in your state and the grain you're applying it to. You'll need your auger or elevator equipment, spray unit and spray nozzle. The spray nozzle you choose should be clean and in good condition and set up to provide even coverage over the grain. Nozzle choice is important to ensure you minimise spray drift and maximise coverage. We recommend using a flat fan spray nozzle rated to a similar capacity to your auger. Now that last bit's important. It's essential that K-Obiol is applied through a spray unit and not drip fed into your grain. You might have heard of some farmers drip feeding their grain protectant onto the grain, but it's not the best option. The problem is you'll get high concentrations of the protectant in some areas and low concentration in others. This means you won't be getting even coverage on your grain, which is important for complete protection. To ensure complete protection, you'll need to check how long it takes your auger to load a tonne of the type of grain you're intending to treat. This is because different types of grain can load at slightly different rates. For example, if you know it takes your auger 35 minutes to fill a 27-tonne truck with wheat, 27 tonnes divided by 35 minutes equals 0.77 tonnes per minute. 0.77 tonnes per minute multiplied by 60 minutes equals 46 tonnes per hour. Remember this figure, as we'll come back to it later. First, check your nozzle location and adjustment. You want the spray nozzle to spray directly across the flow of grain. No doubt, many of you have your own system, but the basic objective is to minimise spray drift, get even coverage of the grain, and maximise the mixing effect of your auger. Your nozzle should be set up to spray directly into the barrel of the auger, fairly close to where the grain is picked up. Spraying the grain before it enters the auger is not recommended, as you don't get even coverage on the grain and you increase the risk of spray drift. Next, adjust your spray unit to apply 1 litre of mixture in the same time it takes you to load 1 tonne of grain. It's easy to remember because we always have 1 litre of mixture per tonne of grain. With our example we gave before, our auger was loading at 0.77 tonnes every minute, so we need to adjust our spray unit to put out 0.77 litres or 770 mils every minute. For calibration, it's much safer to use just fresh water. And finally, ensure you have enough fuel and spray to cover the amount of grain you're going to load on each occasion to ensure that you don't run out part way through a load. As when dealing with any farm chemicals, it's important to get the right safety gear set up before you start. For K-Obiol, you're required to wear elbow-length PVC gloves, full-length cotton overalls buttoned at the neck and the wrist, goggles or face shield to protect you from splashes to the skin. Remember, always follow the label directions carefully, as wearing the correct safety gear is essential. The next step is to mix K-Obiol and your selected mixing partner. To fully protect your grain, you'll need to achieve 1 part per million of deltamethrin. This is easy to do in the following way as per the directions on the label. 2 litres of K-Obiol diluted to 100 litres total volume of water treats 100 tonnes of grain. And if you need further assistance on how to work out the other quantities, please complete the K-Obiol training module, accessible via our website. Now you have your K-Obiol mixture ready to go, you'll need to add in your chosen mixing partner. The label for these products has all the instructions you'll need. Ensure the application rate you choose is appropriate for the intended use of the grain, and get advice from your chemical supplier if you're unsure. For best results, your spray mixture needs to be agitated to mix thoroughly. Today, we are treating a 30-tonne truckload of sorghum, and we've selected phenyltrethione as the mixing partner with K-Obiol. We'll need to add 600 ml of K-Obiol into some water already in the tank, and then 360 ml of phenyltrethione before topping the tank to the 30 litre mark with water, before we start treating the grain. First, start your auger, then your spray pump. We recommend doing it in this order so that you don't end up with a hot spot of over-treated grain before the grain is flowing. It is also a good idea to check the spray application during treatment to make sure that it delivers 1 litre of mixture for 1 tonne of grain. After you empty your drum, triple rinse it and pour the rinsing back into the tank during refilling. To sum up, K-Obiol treated grain is suitable for all East Coast domestic markets, except for pesticide residue-free markets or PRF, and where food is certified organic. In order to treat it properly, you must treat with K-Obiol once only, alongside your selected tank mix product, and stick precisely to the recommended dilution and application rate. Using more product will not give you longer or more effective protection, and using less will give you inadequate protection and defeat what you're trying to achieve. If you would like further education and support on application and usage of K-Obiol EC Combi, you can head to our website to complete detailed training. On behalf of Envu, thanks for watching and best wishes for the season.